This is a 617632 is your Mighty Reds. Those are the gummies, 60-day supply. That's also an expiring price. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. Right now, though, let's move into the Mighty Reds, talk about them a little bit more. And
here they come.
Here they come. They're wheeling them in as we speak. Mighty Reds are another type of gummy form, and you recommend 2 of these per day as well?
Exactly.
And what are Mighty Reds designed to do?
Well, so you and I probably remember when we introduced Mighty Reds at QVC. It was exclusive to QVC. And every time we brought it around, it sold out. We could not keep it here. And that's, believe it or not, a big tribute to the fact that people kept and want this product. So what did I do with Mighty Reds? How is that different than what we did with Mighty Flex? So Mighty Flex is to help joints.
Right.
The problem with most of our diet, you remember when we started the show with Vital Reds, the drink?
Yeah.
And all the polyphenols and all the great antioxidants? That was a drink. And that was my first product to get people to get all this stuff in them.
Right.
And some people said, I love this stuff, but why don't you make a gummy out of it? And I go, I'm never going to make a gummy because gummies are mostly sugar. So it literally took us 2 years to get a lot of the great polyphenols that are in Mighty Reds into a gummy that you can chew that doesn't have any added sugar, no added sugar. And the flavor and texture comes from a prebiotic fiber. And we talked about fiber last segment. The more fiber we get, the better our gut bacteria like it, and the better and happier they are, the happier we are. The color, you'll notice this color is different than what we just saw. The color comes from these fruits and vegetables, and some of them are different than what you saw before. But we did one other thing. And David, one of the things that shocks me, and we talked about it earlier, most Americans are profoundly deficient in vitamin D and the sunlight vitamin.
Right.
Why? A number of things. Number one, it's dark in the winter in most places. Even in Southern California, though, 80% of my patients have low vitamin D levels in Southern California.
Wow.
Why? Because we're all wearing sunscreen, we're all covering up, we're all got long sleeve shirts on, we're deathly afraid of the sun. But vitamin D is so important. So the government says bare minimum, to get your daily bare minimum vitamin D, we put vitamin D in your milk so we can make sure that you're getting vitamin D. You would have to drink, are you ready for this, 13 glasses of milk a day.
A day.
A day to get the bare minimum vitamin D. So what I did is I put 2 times the bare minimum vitamin D in those 2 gummies.
Okay.
Instead of, we were joking off stage, I don't even think a baby cow
on a hot day could drink that much. Now, in addition to the vitamin D, there are some other goodies here as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are polyphenols. And remember, poly want a phenol. Polyphenols are these amazing plant compounds that were designed by the plant to protect them from sunlight damage, from insects, from environmental toxins, and they protect the energy producing parts of the plant. For years, we thought that these were antioxidants, but we now know that they actually support a healthy gut microbiome. Those are the good bugs that live inside of us. The bugs inside of us love to eat polyphenols. And because of that, they support healthy digestion. And we just had earlier, most Americans don't get any fruits and vegetables. Like 90% of us don't get the recommended amount. Why do we recommend fruits and vegetables? Believe it or not, it's because of the polyphenols. And none of us are getting it because we like fast food.
Right. So if we are someone that is already taking the Mighty Flex, we need to also take the Mighty Reds?
Does something completely different. So this has got the vitamin, yeah, so you can have it. So
First of all, it's delicious.
it's really good. So this is the vitamin D. The Mighty Flex has vitamin C. The Vital Reds have the B vitamin. So I don't make anything that doesn't complement something else I make.
2 of these per day.
Yep.
1 in the morning, 1 at night, 2 at the same time. If I want to eat more than 2, can I?
Ask my wife. Believe me, we've known now that people buy these things thinking it's going to last, and amazingly, it doesn't last because you're right.
It tastes great.
It tastes great.
If it tasted terrible, you would not eat it.
That's right.
I mean, Dr. Gundry knows that. He understands that. If it doesn't taste good, if it's not pleasing to our palate, we're not going to take it on a daily basis. We're going to take it once a week, once a month.
Yeah, I got to get these things in me.
I have to take my pills today.
That's right.
Who wants to do that, right?
That's right. I hate these things. I think I'll have another.
Is chewy and delicious, and there's no added sugar?
No added sugar.
No added sugar. This is going to have things like cranberries, raspberries, pomegranates, blackberries, blueberries. There's ginger in here as well.
Ginger and turmeric and beetroot. Beets are amazing. You see it advertised on TV. They're amazing for keeping your blood pressure in a great range. They dilate your blood vessels. Pomegranates have this incredibly cool polyphenol that helps your mitochondria. But have you ever actually tried to get the seeds out of a pomegranate?
Yes, and it's nearly impossible.
Yeah, and your hands turn all red, and you spill red all over the counter.
About halfway through, and then it's over. And then you got a grand mess, and then you end up throwing the whole thing away. Now, this is an expiring price. This will go away at the end of the day today. It is important to know this is $69.98 for a 60-day supply. There are 120 gummies in here. You take 2 a day.
2 a day.
At minimum. You may take more than that because it tastes that good. And this is delicious stuff. There is no auto delivery because these are gummies. We can't deliver these in the heat of summer.
Correct.
So it's important to know if you want to stock up, stock up. Leave them unopened. They have a 2-year shelf life. 2 years, is that right?
2 years.
2 years.
Yep.
And then store them in a cool, dry place. Put them away from direct sunlight. And then that way you're left with all the things that you're looking for that you're not getting when you shop the middle part of the supermarket. Why? Because the middle part of the supermarket has all the good stuff in it.
Exactly.
That's all the processed foods. That's all the mac and cheese in a box. That's all the things that we're trained to love, the potato chips, the crackers, all those things, right?
Right.
Instead of the perimeter of the grocery store, which is where we find the fruits, the vegetables, the meats, the dairy, all those things that are so important.
Correct.
That we don't tend to be as prolific with, right?
That's exactly right.
This is why something like this becomes so very important. If everybody ate perfectly, Dr. Gundry would be out of business.
That's my job, is to try and put myself out of business. It's not working.
And it's not working because we know human nature. And I know my human nature. If I'm left to my own devices, I'll shop in the middle of the grocery store.
Sure.
When I'm thinking nobody's looking. Mm-hmm. Yeah. People can't recognize me when I'm in the grocery store when I have a hat on and a glass.
Sunglasses.
They can. But this is what is important. That's why these supplements become so very important. I have an update for you. I have 1,200 left. That is all.
Ooh.
Now, this much milk, let's just take a look at this much milk. You'd have to drink this many glasses, and there are 13 glasses here,
13 glasses.
Now, this is whole milk, yes?
Yeah, home up.
Now, not only is it 13 glasses of whole milk, there's also sugar in this milk.
Tons of sugar.
And I drink a special milk that is fat-free that has half the sugar that normal fat-free store-bought milk has. And I'm still judicious with it.
Good.
Because I know, as much as I love milk, because when I was a little boy, people would come in and they'd have juice or water or soda. I'd have milk, right? I used to push in the back of the milk carton to make it rise, to make my mom think there was more milk than was actually there. Because mom could only afford to buy it once a week, right? And I would come in when I was hot and drink milk right from the jug. Even I couldn't drink this much milk. And I wouldn't drink this much milk because of all the sugar.
Correct. And you're not a baby cow.
And I'm not a baby cow, not even close. So this is why something like this becomes so very important, because this will replace the milk, replace all the fruit. This will replace everything, and it's just 2 of these gummies per day, and they taste good. Hello? They taste good. If they tasted bad, I would understand you not wanting to try them. And if they didn't, if they stuck to my dental work, I wouldn't try them. If they stuck to my teeth, if they stuck or they were just not pleasant, then I wouldn't have anything to do with them. That jar would remain full.
Yeah, but it goes fast.
But that jar is going to go quickly.
Let me tell you another thing that's really interesting. Now, you mentioned, okay, well, we just talked about Mighty Flex, and it's got prebiotic fiber, and we know we talked about allulose, this really cool new plant sweetener from figs.
Right.
This has prebiotic fiber as well, but it's a totally different prebiotic fiber called inulin. So now where's inulin? Well, inulin, believe it or not, is in artichoke hearts, it's in asparagus. You ever go to the grocery store and you see that bright red kind of lettuce, round ball, it's really bright red. It's called radicchio.
Radicchio. I many times call it ridiculous lettuce.
Well, there you go. It's actually not a lettuce at all, it's a chicory. But, so that's where inulin comes from. Why is that important? Well, like I say, I don't like to make products that overlap. It turns out that you have to have lots of different prebiotic fiber in your diet, because certain bacteria say, oh, I really love inulin, and I don't really like allulose, or I don't really like pectin, which is in the new product. But there's other bacteria that say, ooh, I really like pectin, but I'm not particularly fond of inulin. So I'm trying to get different ways of different prebiotic fibers into my patient.
Right?
Yeah, they're delivery systems. And so that's what's so fun, is that I get to formulate. Again, far as I know, I'm the only supplement manufacturer that makes all the products, formulates all my products based on those report cards.
Dr. Gundry, we have 800 of these left.
Oh no.
800. There are a lot of people out there who are watching this right now who know, and I knew that I was not eating my best when I went to see the doctor the first time, when he finally rolled the red flag up the flagpole and said, whoa, you need to stop. Whatever you're doing is wrong, right? And I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, I want David to be his best self. And that really hit me right between the eyes, because I want to be my best self. I kid myself into thinking I'm my best self.
Yeah.
But my numbers don't tell any stories. My blood numbers are always accurate.
Yes.
And they always tell the doctor what he or she should be telling me. And so this way, I know it's my report card.
Yeah.
And I know that green means go, green is good. Yellow means caution. And red means stop doing what you're doing. It's like a stoplight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you are getting your, or it's been a long time, or you can't remember who was in office when you had your blood work done the last time, it's probably time to do it again. And if you are getting your blood work back and you've got a lot of red stop signs, then it's time for you to chart a different course.
Yep.
It's time for you to do something different, because the definition of insanity is going down the same road over and over again, expecting to arrive at a different place, and you don't.
No.
You just keep arriving at the same place, and your numbers keep getting worse and worse and worse. This is why it's so very important to be a partner in your healthcare, to let your doctor, let he or she read these labels and know what you're ingesting, because that's so very important. How many of these left now, Frank? We have 700 left. That is all.
You know, I'm going to bring up one other thing. The last time we had these, we sold out, and one nice lady, I forgot, I think she was from Ohio, called in, and she had bought it the first time around, and she had bought one jar, and she said, I think it was 9 months before we brought it back. And she said, oh, thank goodness this is on. I can't live without these things, but I don't have any more. And, you know, I called Gundry MD, and you don't have any. Thank you. And I'm buying, she actually, I think, bought 3 or 4, because this is your chance. It's not going to ship in the summer. I'm sorry. It's just not practical. You wouldn't want them shipped in the summer. So this is, and there's not very many left. So, you get them on auto ship, not auto ship, but you can get cheaper if I ever get it